Every day I have clients asking me, James, what's the best credit card to apply for? What do I need when I'm applying for a credit card? And I've been helping people on the channel give information on what you need generally for other credit cards, how to get that information, where we're talking about an ITIN, a U.S. address, a residential address, some kind of proof of address, generally a U.S. bank account. We talk about that a lot, but I've heard from a number of my clients that FirstCard is this great company where they can get their credit cards approved, and they've been building their credit scores, and we'll go into it more. But I just went to the source, I contacted them, and today I have Ma Qing with me today, and who works with FirstCard, and we're going to ask some questions. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you for
Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. So as I said in my short little interview, I try and keep these videos informative and pretty concise for the audience. I've had a lot of clients tell me that they've been able to get FirstCard open and they've been able to grow their credit score, and it's been working out well. So tell me a little bit about like FirstCard, how it works and how it approves clients, a little bit about the what FirstCard is.com. It's firstcard.com.
App.
Firstcard.app. And I should have a link, my affiliate link below, but I'm not just promoting it for affiliate links. I'm promoting it because I've had clients with it's had good success with it. So tell me a little bit about it. I'd love to hear.
Yeah, happy to tell you more about FirstCard. So FirstCard has this secure credit card product where we help everyone build credit, no matter who you are, where you're from, or what your credit score is. We really want to help two sides of the market. On one end, we want to help people with low or bad credit in the US to rebuild their credit. And on the other side, we really want to help internationals and immigrants get a credit card as soon as they arrive in the US and build credit right away. All of our team, actually the founding team, are immigrants, so we really understand the difficulties of getting a credit card without SSN when we first arrive in the US. A lot of the internationals and immigrants actually don't realize that they need to build credit until much later on. So I would say different from a lot of other secure credit card, we do take internationals without SSN as well.
So do they need an ITIN or can you just apply without an SSN as well? Or
Yeah.
SSN or an ITIN?
If you don't have an SSN number, you can apply using either your passport and visa. Starting this year, early this year, we take all types of visa. And if you don't want to share a passport visa, but you have been in the US and have been working in the US, you can also use your IT number to apply.
So a lot of people who I work with or who watch this channel are non-residents, and they one day plan to come to the US. They may not technically be or live in the US, but we generally recommend, what we've seen is that to build credit in the US, to get more credit cards, to get all the points and everything, you need to have an ITIN, have some kind of residential address where you live in the US, and then also have generally a US personal bank account. And then really there's not that much reason for a US credit card if you don't have an ITIN, because then you can't like build your credit score. So it's kind of like and these are secured credit cards, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I was going off on a point there. Am I right in saying those are like kind of the things you need? Like generally, if you have an ITIN, a U.S. residential address, you can apply and open a FirstCard account.
Correct. If you have ITIN, all other things we need is your US residential address.
Okay, wonderful. And how does the process work with the secured? Like it's a secured card. How does it work with the funds deposit and like let's say I just open an account. How do I get started?
Yeah, so because this is a secure credit card, we do require you to deposit your money first. However, different from other traditional secure credit cards that you get in a traditional bank, we do not lock this initial deposit. So if you go to Bank of America, they usually ask you for, let's say, $1,000 or $2,000 as deposit, and they lock this thing up, right? So you can never touch it. We don't like that. So with FirstCard, we are removing that deposit requirement. You can deposit as much as you want and use it right away. So if you deposit $100, you can use it right away today.
Interesting. I have a client who had a secured credit card at Discover, and they eventually closed his account, and getting the deposit back was a huge issue. It was like this whole thing because the account's got to close.
Yep.
Yeah.
And usually it takes can be even 1 to 2 months to get that deposit back, which is, really bad for consumers.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And so how does FirstCard report to like the credit bureaus? If you know about this, or if you can enlighten me, because I'm not hugely informed about because the whole point of building your credit is that you have activity, you spend money, you pay
Right.
your credit card on time, and then that information is reported to the credit bureaus.
Correct. So yeah, so when you spend credit card, it acts just like any other credit cards. Um, we report to all three credit bureaus in the US. We report your on-time payment history. We also report your, I believe, how much you spend every month. So essentially, all the things that other credit cards report.
Are there any restrictions on like passports that you would accept? Because obviously we need some kind of identification for the people who are applying, and they might not have a U.S. driver's license. They probably have a passport and an ITIN, and maybe, like I said, residential address. Do you, what, is there any restriction on the passport countries other than like obviously like a sanctioned country might be difficult?
Yeah, there are a few countries that we don't work with. I believe I can provide a list after the call.
Is it like on the website? Like, can we Google search on
Um,
First Card
it's the
restricted countries?
standard. I believe it's a standard list of countries that usually financial institutions do not work with.
Okay, so if you guys have an ITIN, you might as well apply, and they'll say no if you can't get it. So, and maybe that'll be why it's unfortunate. But that's a fair answer. What's how does it work with like if I want to add authorized users? So let's say I open an account, if I want to add like someone from my team to be an authorized user.
We are actually working on that currently. We do have that. We do not have the authorized user feature right now, but this is something that we're pretty aware, and we get a lot of inbound inquiries about that feature. So we are actively adding that.
And for another question is like quick rapid fire questions at you. Um, the application process is online. It's pretty simple. I went through it. It's pretty standard from what I've seen from fintech companies.
Hmm.
Now, if someone applies and they're rejected, can they apply again? Can they appeal? How does it work if I really want a first card account and I kind of maybe I get rejected, maybe I do the application wrong? Can I apply again?
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, we virtually accept everyone as long as you have the right documentation and you put down all the correct information. The only time that we reject someone would be either someone is on the country list that we do not work with, or you put down wrong information, or we need additional information that we need to verify your identity. So as long as you provide all this information, we will take that application and open a card for you. And I guess another point you mentioned is that we actually don't do the underwriting process. So there's no hard pull.
So there's no underwriting or hard or credit pull or anything.
Because of structure that we have, right? It's a secure credit card. You deposit the money first. We took away all the hard incurred.
That makes so much sense. And other banks that are institutions, maybe you're not a bank, but other institutions that do this kind of credit cards have this complicated process. And if it's a secured credit card, why does it need to be
That's yes,
so
exactly.
complicated?
Exactly. I always say it internally as well. Secure credit card sounds like it's secure for the bank, not really secure for the consumer. Because you
It is secure for the bank. It should be easy to use, but that's the whole point. Is that the bank, if you put a deposit down for $1,000, there should be no risk to the bank because if they spend
exactly.
that much, the money you just take it from there.
Yeah, but we're talking about this, but with regular banks, when you get a secure credit card, there's still a APR attached to the card. So to me, that just doesn't make sense at all. That you deposit money, but you're still paying interest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also talking about first card here, we don't charge any APR, so it's 0% APR.
Oh, it's a charge card though, so you have to pay it every month.
Well, yes,
You can't like run a balance. You can't just like spend 1,000, leave it on there. You have to pay it off every month, right?
well, you deposit your money first, right? So the amount you deposit is the amount you can spend.
Okay, so if you spend down the amount you deposit, then you can't spend on the card. So you can only so your cash balance is effectively your credit balance. You can spend down your cash balance, but as you do, your credit balance also goes down.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, so that's seems like a really sensible way to do it.
Yeah, and because of that structure, there isn't a credit limit concept attached to this card. So a lot of times, people who have bad credit often go above the credit utilization ratio. Um, a lot of times, they're just not aware of the concept. So with us, I think this is a much safer way to build credit because there isn't they don't need to worry about going over that limit.
It's effectively a debit card,
Yep.
but with like a mechanism built in the back. So, and but the mechanism is why First Card exists to help people build credit. It's the whole point of all of this, right? Because obviously you could just use your debit card if you didn't. Oh, that's really cool. I'm happy that I'm learning about this now. I wanted to also ask, what are the rewards that people get with First Card? Like, are there points and stuff?
But we don't use a point system at the moment. So right now we do partner with over 29,000 merchants. So if you open the app, go to the rewards tab, you can even open a map within the rewards tab to see who we partner with. You'll see a lot of big brands like Allbirds, Sephora, um, Gap, all the brands that we are familiar with. Under the rewards tab, sometimes the offer is all the way up to 15% cash back. Usually it's around 5% to 10%, but we do see 50% from time to time, depends on the vendor. So that's really
Okay,
good.
so it's not like a 1% cash back. It's just like there's selective rewards with selective vendors.
Yeah, so that's one type of cash back we offer. There's more that we offer. Actually, this is for everyone. If you swipe using First Card, you can get a random, what we call random cashback, all the way up to 10%. So essentially, there's a little game inside the app where we can play this spinning wheel, and it's just basically by random chance you can get up to 10% on every single purchase.
Okay, that sounds fun. What's the deal with the international purchases? So if I use my First Card in Mexico, do I have to pay extra fees?
So depends on the plan that you subscribe to. We offer three different tiers of plans. With the premium plan, we do waive all the foreign transaction fees.
What are the plan? And you don't have to go into too much detail, but how do the plans work?
Yeah, so you can easily go to our website and see all the three plans that we offer. The cheapest plan is First Card Standard. That's only $4.99 per month. So that gives you the basic credit building and credit monitoring feature, but you don't get a credit report. You also,
So what's the in-depth credit report? You guys provide the credit report?
yes, correct.
Ah,
If you
cool.
subscribe to the higher tier plans. Exactly.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna share my screen and we'll look at this together. There we go. On the plans and pricing right here, we can see that we have the First Card Standard. This builds up, so you get it. It still goes in your credit score, but you don't get the
Perfect.
report.
Exactly.
Okay, and then also the unlimited cash back. So if you're using this as a main spend card, your cash is gonna earn. Okay, so with this $12.99 a month, let's say we put $10,000 in First Card, we're gonna earn a 4% APY, and we get 1% cash back on what we spend. And we also get the credit monitoring, credit report, credit building. This is really
Yep.
cool. And then we could also do and that's a really cheap fee. I have an Amex. I pay like $800 a month for my Amex, or $800 a year. I'm sorry, a year, not a month. But and this is really, I really like this a lot. So this is so great, guys. If you want your credit score and you want your credit report, this works for ITINs too.
I believe, yes, for ITIN holder, the APY feature is available,
No,
but
the in-depth credit report. Can I pull a credit report if I have an ITIN like that?
yes.
We'll see. I'm interested to see how that goes. I know you have a credit score, and I've had clients get letters from banks saying that their credit score is this much, but you can't go on like Equifax with an ITIN and open an account and look at your score with it. It's really weird that it doesn't work for ITINs for whatever reason. But you do have a score, but the online tools don't always work.
Yep. Yep.
Very cool. So yeah, I mean, this is really fairly priced, to be honest, for getting a credit card with $5 a month or $9 a month. And if you want to build your credit score and get your first credit card, I think we explained it pretty well. Is there anything else that people should know before we move on?
Yeah, I would also mention the high yield earnings account. So again, if you subscribe to the premium plan, you get 4% APY on the money that you deposit but haven't spent. You don't get that with big banks.
Do the peop here's the kicker there. You might not know the answer. What if I'm a non-resident? Do I give you a WABEN and then you report on a 1042 as their tax withholding? How is there shouldn't be withholding, but how do you guys do the tax reporting on the interest?
That is a good question. I gotta get back to you on that. Not a tax expert here, but happy to email you.
The compliance department. It's real. It's that's the real boring stuff, but a lot of my videos about those topics do pretty well. People are interested in it, and I'm the only one talking about it. But guys, comment below. Let me know if you have a first card and you are getting interest, how it's being reported. Make sure they're not withholding taxes. I'm happy to comment on that. Ma Qing, thank you so much for being here and for explaining all this. I think first card is going to be a really great option. There's really no harm to try it out once you have your ITIN and some kind of residential address to use. Comment below if there's anything else you want to know or you have any other questions. And definitely, if you want to apply for one, there should be a link in the description. Check out that link, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, James.